With great Valve come great Steam Deck too. We couldn't find a game the Steam Deck couldn't run. Hmm. So the Steam Deck can do 32 gigs of RAM, and the Steam Deck can do 64 terabytes, 61 terabytes of storage. Excellent. We couldn't find a game the Steam Deck couldn't run. Okay. So now Intel is like, okay, we got something to say about that too. We couldn't find a game the MSI Claw couldn't run. And we're coming with 32 gigs of RAM too. Now what? With great Valve come great Steam Deck too. Hello viewers, another beautiful day. Yeah, hope your processes work. Health and strength is good. Or excellent. What? What's up? What's up, Steam Deck fans? What's up, MSI Claw fans? Listen to this. Yeah. With great Valve come great Steam Deck too. Anyway, you know what? I've seen an article today. I think it was on PC Games In. Or was it E-Tech? One of those websites I wrote it. AMD and NVIDIA teamed up to build a laptop. And I said to myself, like, what if AMD and NVIDIA team up to make a laptop, right? So I'm saying to myself, what if AMD and NVIDIA team up and to build a Steam Deck too? They're inside the Steam Deck too. Just saying. Anyway, listen to this. Anyway, says here, Intel's new chip could seriously threaten AMD and the Steam Deck. Intel threatens the Steam Deck. Well, my counter statement to that topic is this: with great Valve come great Steam Deck too. Anyway, listen to this. Intel Lunar Lake gives you a BattleMake CPU, 8 CPU cores, 32 gigs of RAM in a single package, but will it have the driver support? All right. Says here, get through this. Intel has just announced a new chip has the potential to completely transform the PC gaming handheld market. Sorry, Intel, the Steam Deck transformed the PC market with the ultimate statement. We couldn't find a game the Steam Deck couldn't run. That was the game changer. That statement alone changed the entire PC gaming market. Anyway, says here, Intel has just announced a new chip that has the potential to completely transform the PC gaming handheld market. It's called the Intel Lunar Lake, and it not only gives you 8 CPU cores, but also a gaming GPU with ray tracing and AI processors and 32 gigs of RAM all in one package. Yeah, but the Steam Deck can already do 32 gigs of RAM. Anyway, says here, there haven't been many handheld gaming PC devices based on Intel hardware yet, with the MSI Claw being notable exception. All the current handheld frontrunners, including the Steam Deck and Asus ROG Ally X, and use AMD's hardware at the moment. However, Intel Lunar Lake, which we just saw the company announce at ComputeX, has the potential to change this situation. Says here, a key factor here is having so much hardware in a single package, including the RAM, reducing latency between components and limiting power draw too. Not only that, but this is the first product we've seen to use Intel's new BattleMate XC GPU architecture, which Intel says will improve gaming and graphics performance by 1.5x compared with the XC LPG GPU found in the company's Meteor Lake processors. Says here, the new so I get this. I get this here. Oops. Says the new GPU effectively gives you equivalents of 1.024 stream processor, which are divided into 8 XC2 cores. Unlike the previous Alchemist GPU found in the current Meteor Lake chip, though the new CPU also contains Intel XMX matrix core for AI processing. Then it says in parentheses, and this is separate from the NPU, close parentheses. Then it says, meaning the CPU has direct access to AI cores for processing and Intel XeSS resolution, upscaling technology in the hardware. That could make all the difference when it comes to the handheld gaming. And there are 8 Battle-Made ray tracing cores in the GPU as well. Then, whoops, if I can catch you here. It says here, if I get this, oops. It says, oops, it keeps running away from me here. Shows a picture here too. Shows the picture. It shows Lunar Lake architecture achievements. Use up to 50% better graphics performance. Then it says up to 4x NPU at compute. Up to 40% lower SoC system on a chip. That's what SoC stands for. And then up to 3.5x GPU compute. And then it says here, meanwhile, the CPU itself features 4 new P-core based on Intel Lion Cove core, which is also expected to be used in the company's Arrow Lake desktop CPU later in the year. There are then backed up by 4 efficient E-core based on Intel new Skymount core. This adds up to a total of 8 cores, although 4 of them are much more powerful than the other 4. It says the really big deal here, though, is raw power, and the Lunar Lake sees Intel taking serious aim at ARM in a bid to claim some of the low power handheld and laptop space. In fact, Intel claimed the new CPU core delivers amazing performance up to 40% lower. If I can get this here, drop this down a little bit. Whoops, keeps running away from here. Up to 40% lower. Come back here. Up to 40% lower system on a chip power compared to the previous generation. And then it says, in theory, it all adds up to a chip that could seriously threaten AMD in the handheld space. With solid performance and low power draw, the main problem for Intel here will be its GPU driver support, which we found to be spotty in our Intel Arc A770 review, and it also taken several driver revision to get the MSI Cloud performing well since its release. Then it says Intel has barely mentioned the potential for Lunar Lake in handheld devices so far, with the bigger focus being on thin and light laptops with AI capabilities. However, it's already been announced that the MSI Cloud 2 will have a Lunar Lake chip, and this new handheld could potentially take on its AMD-based rival if its performance is reliable out of the box. And then it says here, it looks as though Intel has the idea and the silicon need to make a big bang on the handheld gaming PC market. It just needs to make some serious investment in drivers and game support. In the meantime, if you're looking to buy a new handheld, check out our Steam Deck OLED review, as this is our current favorite device for gaming on the go. Okay, Intel. So Intel, you want to play with the big boys, huh? The Steam Deck. We couldn't find a game the Steam Deck couldn't run. Well, when the Steam Deck came out, the LCD models, 64 gigs, 256, and 512. Valve installed a nice little user base, but they were also listening to the feedbacks. And when everybody was talking about the Steam Deck didn't have an OLED, still a powerful handheld, it was just missing the OLED, and then Valve add that to it. yeah, and then they up the RAM too. So it supports it's OLED with HDR and SDR. So uh, the Steam Deck Valve came out swinging. So Intel came out with the MSI Claw. Didn't get enough. Didn't Some people wasn't giving it a good feedback. And Intel went back to the drawing board, and now they're coming out with a newer model. And they're trying to challenge AMD. But make no mistake about it, Valve is working on the Steam Deck too. Valve and AMD, they're up to something, but we'll find out in due time. But right now, with this, it's coming. What is this thing coming with? If I can get my computer here moving, it comes with up to 50% better graphics performance, up to 4x NPU AI compute. Then it says up to 40% lower SoC power, and up to 3.5x GPU AI compute. Okay, so they made a better version, and it's coming with 32 gigs. All right, Steam Deck can already do that. If you know how to upgrade the RAM. So well, this Intel went back to the drawing board, and they're coming back out swinging. But Valve and AMD will have a response to that in due time. Right now, the Steam Deck OLED is just the handheld that PC games in here love. So yeah, so the CPU core gives you 40%. For the new MSI CPU core gives you 40%. All right. Lower system on a chip power compared to previous. That means is it's improved. And then it says it all adds up to a chip that could seriously threaten AMD the handhelds in the handheld space. Yeah, but there's one big problem with that. AMD is all over the place in different handhelds. And AMD is also helping Valve, probably working with Valve on the Steam Deck too. So AMD got a head start on everybody, and it paid off. And they're working on AMD is working on because Zen 4 covers Zen 3, but then they're building Zen 5 from the ground up. So yeah, Intel got their work cut out for them, when it comes to these handhelds. And then there's the Asus ROG Ally X that just came out too. That's a much improved over the previous version. So Intel have to go up against the ROG Ally before they can even go near the Steam Deck. So yeah, because right now Valve did their homework, and it's working for them. So Intel got a nice little mountain to climb, man. But when they start climbing, the Steam Deck 2 will be out in due time. I'm sure Valve is looking at this too. While they're working on the part 2 of the Steam Deck, if they're doing that, they're paying attention to all the news that's out there about the other manufacturers and what they're coming with. So they're taking notes and okay, we'll add we'll take what we need to take and add it to the Steam Deck 2 when that time comes. Yeah. But right now, Intel is stepping their game up, and yeah, they're coming with a better handheld than the first. So yeah, performance does matter, in video games. When it comes to these handhelds, yeah, Intel just stepped up, with a better model. They're coming out the gate swinging. 32 gigs of RAM. That means it's going to go up against the ROG Ally X has 24. The Steam Deck right now has 16, but it can do 32. So yeah, another Intel is on the move, you know. I guess they're not settling, you know, on just the MSI clog, you know. They're trying to bring something better to the market. So pricing is going to be important in all of this, you know, when it comes to this new handheld pricing, you know. So yeah. Okay, but this is good news for video games though too. Yeah, this is good news for video games. Another handheld to the market to you know, to push the game industry, you know, and help video games perform better, you know, hardware wise. So yeah, but so far so good. Oh yeah, 8 cores. Yeah, four is better than four is more powerful than the other. Yeah, Valve is going to take note of that. Oh yeah, here they are. What? What else? And this is to help XCSS too. Oh yeah, ray tracing, AI. Yeah. Intel trying to get a head start. Well, Valve is taking notes of all this though. They are. They are, man. But other than that, man, this is good news for that handheld market. Very good. And yeah, another handheld to the market. To challenge the who? Steam Deck. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars stuff. Thank you. Come. Peace.